Better World Books is the socially conscious consumer's bookstore of choice. BetterWorldBooks.com offers the lowest shipping rates on the web, free shipping worldwide. If this sounds like it's for you, use our link in the description. Hi, this is Robert from Studio 35, here to share this week's biggest gaming news with you all. Starting off with Google Stadia, Stadia held its latest Stadia Connect event this week, revealing several new games, some of them Stadia exclusives. Giving a big boost to the ever-growing library of games users can play on the ever-growing platform, Stadia is getting an exclusive competitor multiplayer title in Outcasters, utilizing highly customizable vinyl characters. Orcs Must Die 3 is also a Stadia exclusive that enables players to fight against entire armies of orcs and is available to Stadia Pro subscribers as one of this month's Stadia Free Pro games. Moving on, Super Bomberman Online follows the Tetris 99 format by allowing over 60 players to play against each other in huge battles, and is coming to Stadia first later this year, complete with skins based on Konami characters. Other titles coming will be Dead by Daylight with cross-progression from the PC and Switch versions, and will launch with crowdplay and crowd choice features. Crowd choice, as you may remember, is a Stadia exclusive feature allowing the community to vote and influence a YouTube streamer's match. Other titles coming are Hitman and Hitman 2 arriving on September 1st, with Hitman 3 arriving in January 2021. Serious Sam 4 arrives on PC and Stadia next month. Square Enix Outriders arrives on Stadia in 2021. WWE 2K Battlegrounds arrives on September 18th. PGA Tour 2021 arrives in August next year. The big title though was From Software's epic Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which will arrive in a few months, and should be interesting to see how this game runs on PCs that otherwise would not be able to play such a game. Next up, this week Microsoft dropped that its Project xCloud service will be free to its paying Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers in September, with over 100 titles playable at launch, with Ultimate being the only way to play the service at launch. The service will allow players to play games on mobile devices with the ability to start a game on their consoles and resume it on their phone or tablet, identical to how Google Stadia works. While Microsoft were quiet about exactly what countries would be rolled out to, it has been rolling out its Azure data centers across the US and in parts of Europe, with Xbox One S placed to support the service, which will be upgraded to Xbox Series X hardware next year. Details on which mobile devices are currently unknown, likely due to Microsoft's ongoing discussions with Apple over App Store policies that have prevented them from testing xCloud on par with Android phones. Currently, iOS users only have access to one Halo game, whereas Android users have access to over 50 games. Some upcoming xCloud perks are very close to what Google is offering with its Stadia service, such as leveraging a video you are watching to jump straight into games. While that is still upcoming with Google Stadia, the simplicity of accessing games feels like it could be an important part of both xCloud and Stadia in the future. In light-hearted news, Henry Cavill took to Instagram to treat visitors to a 5-minute video of him putting a PC build together from scratch, complete with Barry White's classic "You're the First, My Last, My Everything" accompanying the video, which was shot over a 2-day period. After a few slip-ups, such as putting in components upside down, Cavill showed off his finished creation, which came complete with eye-searing RGB lights. Cavill is well known for his love of video games and is a hardcore PC gamer, famously turning up late to his Man of Steel audition due to playing World of Warcraft. His current project, Season 2 of The Witcher, was delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic, but was announced later on the show's official Twitter account that production will kick off on 17th of August. And in news that makes me feel old as hell, and for those of us old enough to remember playing with the cartridge, a rare version of the classic 1985 Super Mario Bros. Has sold still in its original packaging at auction for $114,000 to an anonymous bidder, the highest amount of money ever handed over for a video game. Demand for the item was apparently extremely high, partially because its packaging had been used for only a short while, and for those curious, the previous record for an auction game was $100,000, which was also a Super Mario game. Valerie McLeckey of Heritage Auctions is reported as saying, open quote, "If any lot on the sale could hit a number like that, it was going to be that one. We knew this would be a strong live session," end quote. She went on to say, open quote, "But I don't think anyone could have anticipated how much bidding there was on the Heritage Live and on the phones," end quote. And finally, the big story this week was Dr. Disrespect's first public interview since being banned from Twitch last month out of the blue on June 26th, after signing an exclusive 2-year contract with the game streaming giant, with him claiming that even after all this time, he still doesn't know why. Honestly, we just don't know, Dr. Disrespect told the Washington Post in an interview with the publication. He went on to say, open quote, "It was a total shock. Imagine showing up to work and the doors are closed and you can't get inside. You're going, what's going on? And you've been told you've been fired, but you haven't been told the reason why. We just weren't given an answer. It was the worst feeling," end quote. Dr. Disrespect, real name Guy Beam, informed the paper he only learned of the ban after watching a friend's Twitch stream and started noticing certain features he uses starting disappearing in real time. He couldn't go into any more details about his final stream, where speculation arose from his sudden change in demeanor live on air, and wouldn't speculate on why Twitch banned him, refusing to answer many of the post's questions after interventions from his team during the interview. Following the ban, Twitch went on to refund subscribers to his channel, whilst at the same time revoking his partner status. Unfortunately, silence from both sides has fueled speculation on the internet about whether the ban was a publicity stunt related to past actions from the streamer, who is no stranger to controversy, or related to something that was only recently brought to Twitch's top brass. Beam initially refused to offer any suggestions about what his next steps would be, whether he would begin to try streaming on other platforms like YouTube. He did tell PC Gamer, however, in a separate interview that he'll never come back to Twitch, and is looking into possibly streaming on YouTube, Facebook, or even from his own Champions Club website. And those are the major events this week in the world of gaming. Why don't you let us know in the comments what your highlights were? And while you're there, why don't you like this video, as it makes our content more visible? And if you like what we do here and you do want to catch future content, you can subscribe to the channel. Sharing this video across all your favourite social media platforms to support our growth is also extremely highly appreciated by our team. This is Robbie from Studio 35, wishing you all a good weekend.